Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
And I'm Ryan.
Today we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite rides at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. First off, Express Pass. Now, what is an Express Pass? It's a pass that you pay for that day that you go, and it allows you to get on most of the rides that have a line, and you can bypass the regular standby line, which sometimes is 2 to 3 hours long. So it's really beneficial to have that. I did it once without an Express Pass, and we didn't get through many rides at all because all we did was stand in line, whereas we did it very efficiently in a day, getting on every ride with the Express Pass, even multiple times.
To me, I mean, getting an Express Pass majority of the time is going to pay off. Obviously, there's some times in the year where it might not be as nice, but I would think most of the time throughout the entire year that the Express Pass is worth it. It's less than the second day ticket, and what it is you're pretty much buying a second day with that Express Pass, and you're putting more to do in your first day. So to me, it saves money and time, and it's a worthwhile investment.
We're gonna start with our number 5 favorite ride and count down to our number 1. Our number 5 favorite ride is Skull Island, Reign of Kong. It's a virtual reality ride, which most of the rides at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure are. Virtual reality.
Yeah, it fits a lot of people in the ride, so they can get it moving pretty quickly. There's nothing cooler than big monsters fighting each other.
And they're all around you, which is pretty cool. And when you sit, no matter where you're sitting in the ride, you get the full experience, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the most crazy of the virtual reality rides, but it's definitely one of the most accommodating.
I mean, there's a part where the T-Rex rolls over you.
Yeah, it's pretty neat that it includes all that kind of in different sides of you. So yeah, it's unique. It's the most unique virtual reality ride.
And it's not the type where you just get in a little vehicle and you just sit there and it goes on around you. It actually moves through.
Yeah, it's effective for the ride, so it works.
Yeah. Also,
the atmosphere is pretty neat of the ride itself, outside of it and kind of going into it. It's a good setup.
Yeah.
And it's based on the Peter Jackson King Kong movie, which was pretty cool.
So in that ride, we get into a safari type vehicle, and they take you through, and you kind of go outside, and then it goes into the mountain, is what it's supposed to be like.
But obviously it's takes you into a jungle and a cave and all these different things, and then
the screens are all around.
A bunch of different monsters, and you're with either there's a lady or a gentleman you're always with. It depends. Each vehicle has a different character driving it.
We did this ride a few times when we were there last time.
Yeah, and usually the lines are not terribly long.
It's kind of hidden in the back of Islands of Adventure, so I feel like it gets missed a little bit just because of that.
Yeah. Number 4 pick, which was my favorite actually when I was younger, is The Amazing Adventures of SpiderMan. It's another virtual reality ride, but Universal's full of those, and that's okay. It's the kind of the future, but this one to me is probably my favorite of the virtual reality rides.
It is one of the older rides that is there for the virtual reality.
It is, but to me it's one of the most interactive. It has such a cool waiting line. You get to experience that nostalgic Spider-Man cartoon feel. You
go through the newsroom and everything.
Yep, and it's different when you're going express versus the regular line. Yeah, you're watching Spider-Man fight all the classic villains in a very animated setting, and to me, some of the new virtual reality stuff, like the Transformers ride, for example, is a really cool ride, and it's more realistic for sure. But to me, with this more animated feel, it kind of gives it more of an authentic presence when you're going through this ride. So it's a lot of fun. They have at one point fire shooting out from the Green Goblin, or the Hobgoblin throwing as one of his grenades, and
there's water.
Oh yeah, and there's you get the settings of everything. A lot of the virtual reality rides are like that, where it takes you from one screen to another and you experience the settings. But this, it's really colorful and a lot of fun, and they really executed that early 90s cartoon nostalgia feel really well.
So when you enter the ride, you get onto a vehicle. It looks like a little car, And
yeah, what do they call it? Their special news media car.
Yeah, and so it like drives you around. It is a little jerky, to be honest, but
a little bit, but it's not. I don't think it's as bad as some of the other ones. I think a lot of these top 4 could be really interchangeable for someone's favorites, and there's of course some that we aren't included on this list because there's so many great rides at Universal.
Our number 3 favorite ride is Revenge of the Mummy, the ride. There's a nice little tagline there. Anyway, this ride is really cool, simply in the fact of, like, even the line to get in takes you through, like, the movie The Mummy, and
yeah, which is kind of forgettable.
Kind of talks about the actors, like, throughout it. So there's Brendan Fraser and I don't know, I just think it's kind of goofy and I like it. But then when you get onto the actual ride, it's another, like, vehicle type thing that's going to take you through, and it's kind of more of a roller coaster. It's
actually more like puppets and
I guess.
And yeah, mechanisms. Like it's very
that water polo version.
Yeah, just the one water. And there's a lot of elements from other roller coasters. If you're familiar with Disney parks, you have your really cool thrill ride part inside the main.
And once again, there's like fire and water and all the
and there's a storyline to it too that you're kind of a character of, and there's some really neat twists that we won't talk about if you haven't seen it or haven't experienced it yet, because it kind of throws you off guard. And to me, it's probably the most unique ride in this park in particular, and probably most rides. So
and once again, it is one of the older rides. It's in Universal Studios.
Yep.
And I actually first rode this ride when I was in Hollywood Studios back when I was in high school, and it's just still cool, no matter what.
Yeah. All right, our number 2, not for everybody, but we absolutely love it, is the Incredible Hulk Coaster. It's probably the second best roller coaster I've ever been on, behind the Kraken at SeaWorld. It's obviously a really great roller coaster. I was gonna say, you wait in line in this laboratory, and you basically, the ride is just sort of, you're turning into a Hulk thing. It starts you off in this like tube that's like this lab looking thing. It's got all these lights going on around you, and all of a sudden just shoots you out with the Hulk roar. And it is one heck of a ride. You
do go upside down in this ride, and it is pretty intense for a roller coaster, so if that makes you sick, obviously this isn't going to be in your top.
Right. Also, be mindful, don't bring anything in your pockets. They provide lockers for a reason. There's been plenty of people who have lost things on the ride, and that sort of thing shuts rides down. It's not safe. So don't be the person that holds up the line because you decided to ignore all the warning signs and just did not want to go to the locker and thought you'd be okay with not doing that. Please put your things in the locker.
You do have to go through a metal detector when you do it, so you can't have anything in your pockets.
You won't get away with anything.
And a lot of these rides that are in our top 5, they do have lockers that you can put your things in, and they're for free. Or just before you get onto any ride, just put your stuff in the locker, and then you won't have to deal with any of those issues.
Yeah, I was telling a story a little bit ago. I was talking about the Kraken at SeaWorld. My brother, of course, was the one that had loose stuff in his pocket. It fell out of his pocket during the ride. They shut it down for 2 hours so they could retrieve it. So yeah. So
the nice thing about Universal is they have those metal detectors and won't get away with a lot of stuff.
That's right.
So. Before we go into our number 1, I think we'll talk about our honorable mention ride.
It's a personal favorite for me. It is the Simpsons Ride, as that was called.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, the Simpsons Ride. It's another VR virtual reality ride. It's very creative. It's a lot of fun. It's in the same vein in terms of being an animated sort of feel as the SpiderMan one, but you're sitting in just one car. Everything's in front of a screen. But it's so cool. You really feel the motion of everything. It's a nice, smooth ride. It's maybe a tad bit dated, but at the same time, it's just a lot of fun, and I think you're gonna have a blast.
The one negative thing that I didn't like about the Simpsons ride was that if you get stuck in the back, there's two levels. I don't know.
Yeah,
two levels
I think
of
there's
the
2 or
car.
3 rows in the car, and if you're stuck in the back, it's hard to see. Even for me, who's taller.
The first time we ever rode that ride, I sat in the back and I couldn't see anything, and so I didn't like it at all, and
I
Ryan was raving about it. So we went on it again, and I made sure I was in the front. And it is really cool once you get that experience.
It is cool. And the weight's pretty neat. You know, you get to enjoy the atmosphere of the
And they put you into this like elevator type thing with all the people that are gonna go on the ride with you, and you get to watch like a little cartoon show before. Yeah. So it's worth the wait.
That's probably one of my favorite parks, and is the Simpsons area. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a really cool part.
They have the
Besides the Harry Potter part, of course.
Yeah. Potter's pretty neat.
So that leads into our #1 ride, and that is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. Now this might cause some controversy, as most people seem to like the Escape to Gringotts, or the Escape from Gringotts, actually.
Yeah, which is an okay ride.
I think it's okay. It's not as good as Forbidden Journey.
No.
And it breaks down a lot. And I don't know if they fixed that, but even when we were there in Christmas last year, it's still breaking down.
The story's kind of lame to it. There's nothing really different about the Gringotts one, but Forbidden Journey is exciting.
It is, and the cool thing about that one, it's similar to the SpiderMan one, kind of, in the fact that there's
moving
like
around screen to screen.
Yeah, and there's like real areas that you'll like go through and see the spiders hanging from the ceiling, and then you'll switch and you'll see the 3D screen. You get into the ride and it's like connected to the top, so your feet are kind of dangling, and it's supposed to be like you're flying through it. But I was reading about the technology, and it was actually really advanced for even the time when it came out, and they just keep trying to perfect that and probably have future rides with that technology as well. It is definitely my favorite ride, and I'm pretty sure it's his too.
It's my favorite ride at the park, absolutely.
We rode it like 3 times in a row.
But it was, to me, the best ride of all the parks in Florida until Avatar came out. That one outs it, and I think it's because the OLED technology they're using with Avatar, I believe, is what they're using, but the colored gambit and Avatar and the blacks and the whites and everything there just make it so vibrant and beautiful. That's the one negative to me in Forbidden Journey. It's kind of, they need to revamp the screens to make it a little more vibrant and colorful to give it a little more of a flavor, but otherwise it's such a cool ride.
So yeah, that is why that one is our #1 favorite ride at Universal. And like we said, these rides span both of the parks. Obviously the Harry Potter section is my favorite section of the whole thing, but thank you for tuning into this video of ours on Universal and our top favorite rides. Yeah. Obviously everybody else has their favorites, so go ahead and comment down below your favorite rides.
There's lots of great rides we didn't mention, a Rock and Roller Coaster being one of the, or not Rock, what's it called? Rocket Roller Coaster? Where you get to pick your music.
Rip Ride.
And you go straight up, and it's a cool one.
You get to pick your music too on that one. That's kind of a cute little addition.
For younger kids, the Minion ride's fun.
Transformers is good, which
Transformers is a really cool virtual reality one.
There's now also Fast and Furious, which we haven't been on. I haven't really heard yay or nay on that one.
One other note, if you're deciding to start with the Studios or the Islands of Adventure, I would suggest the Islands of Adventure. I think the rides there overall probably a little bit better. So get your rides in there, go to Studios, cover those, and if you have time, go back and cover some of your favorites.
There is a new Harry Potter ride coming. It's the Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, and it's opening in June. And we watched the ride through, like the simulated ride through, and it looks pretty sweet. So when we go there next, we'll have to check that out.
Absolutely.
So. Well, we hope you enjoyed this, and keep on subscribing to see more videos like this. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos specifically like this, and we'll keep on making them. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye. Oh.
Hi,
Puppy.
All right.